right, who wants to hear about high-octane adventures and the latest and greatest on the motor scene? It's time to rev it up with John and Jess on Joy 1340.
Welcome back to Rev It Up with John and Jess, coming at you on Joy 1340 AM and 98.7 FM.
You do it so much better.
I can't stand you some days, and today is one of those days.
I love it. Yes. Mission accomplished. It's Friday. Way to go. See, gentlemen, if you can get out starting the day
Here we go.
It's my bit of advice for the gentlemen that are dating in our era.
This is going to be rich. Go.
Well, you know, at our age, it's either like, you know, you start dating, and there's only so much left. And this is
Time? Yes.
This is the John Bagley advice of dating for all the men and children out there.
Because you're so successful at it.
I am. You can ask a lot of people. Well, I didn't know.
You can ask a lot of people.
You
can ask a lot of people, yes.
Well,
correct.
There's certain things that we said. Elizabeth Bagley or Peterson, keep your mouth shut. So but I'm saying, at this point, you start dating somebody, and it's like right away, okay, what are we doing? Because we're already, you know, like in our 40s, like, you know, like take it or leave it, you know.
Do you want to hear of a cool concept I recently heard of?
Oh, God, here we go. Yeah, go ahead, I want to hear.
Living apart together.
I like that idea.
I love that idea. So people live apart, but they're together.
I think I'd still be married to my first wife if that would happen.
I'm pretty sure she probably would have divorced you.
No, Christine would be like, yeah, he's full of shit.
No. Anyway, can we share the good news with the people?
I didn't get to give my dating advice, though. Oh, you cut me off. This is the part of dating advice that's got to be. So you try to listen, guys.
I lost interest.
Guys, all you got to do is keep nodding and say, I was always told I was a good listener for years.
Because you don't listen.
But I act like I do listen.
Not even
I'm a
anymore,
skimmer.
no.
I'm a skimmer listener.
Yes.
So like when I did my homework, I skim. And then when you listen, skim. And then every once in a while, you take whatever last part, like Jess says a lot of stuff. So then I'd grab one or two words out of that. Justin's looking at me through the window. He's like, yes, I do this all the time. So you grab one thing. I'm like, yeah, totally. That guy at the mechanic at Mavis really sucks, too. And I didn't listen to the whole story. But then you grab a little piece, and they think you listened the whole time. And you like,
no, it's obvious you don't listen.
And you throw a little nod out there.
90% of the time.
You throw a little nod out there. And
you're not
yeah,
stealth about it at all.
Or throw a little, I'm sorry that happened to you.
When do you say that?
Well, I do once in a while. Once in a while I do. I do.
Where's the dating advice? Is that the dating advice?
Stay single.
Yes! That's great dating advice.
Stay single.
Okay.
Any more future advice, just feel free to call me. I'll let you know every experience.
No,
not every experience, but
he won't listen to the advice that you're asking about. He'll just...
whatever. It's, you know. All I got to say is it worked. It got you. What the hell? Who cares? I
ain't got, bro.
Well, were you just giving up at that point in your life?
Yes.
Okay.
This is what I.
So speaking of dating, you know, at an older age in your life, we're going to talk about something else. We're going to talk about we're going to talk about something really cool. It's going to be whatever follows on is our barn finds.
Yes, but can we say something before that?
Okay, what were we going to say? I missed the whole thing, didn't I?
Because your ears were skimming.
I know what we're supposed to do.
What happened?
So
that's huge news on St. Patrick's Day.
St. Patty's Day, we had a great meeting this morning. Everybody knows that we kind of go through and we push the envelope in everything we do, and we work hard at what we do. All our team,
everybody, yeah.
Ryan, Austin, who's been with us since day one. Everybody, a great team. Mike Ryan, Mike Browski, all these guys, everybody's there. So we actually had a great meeting, and we had a call from O'Reilly Auto Parts this morning. Not just our local store, we actually got a call from corporate this morning.
Yeah.
So, well, actually, it was a couple days ago, I'm sorry. The meeting was this morning.
Yeah. So,
which kind of blew me away, and I was speechless, which a lot of people can't ever figure out, but there's sometimes I actually do shut up and listen.
You actually listened today?
I did. You walked in there, and I was like kind of shocked. So, we are very happy and proud to announce that O'Reilly's Auto Parts is our new corporate sponsor.
Yeah.
For not just for Motor Mania, but for everything we do. For the garage, for the barn finds, for Rev It Up. Like, they are our main gig. And I have to thank a lot of great people that helped me out since day one. And one guy I just want to really give a shout out to is Bruce Tachita from World Wheels and Dale. Both of those guys that helped me kind of school me through this whole thing of getting doing what they wanted to do. And it's just really great how they're picking up what they're going to do to help us out at the garage with our supplies and our parts and everything else like that. And so it's great. It's huge. I think you really been taken back.
Yeah, yeah. Hard work pays off, that's for sure.
Yeah. So
and thanks to them for jumping on board. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, we've got a lot of big things coming up with O'Reilly's. Our shows now, Motor Mania used to be just a regular show. Oops,
now you're beating it
now
up.
I'm hitting that. It was used to be a huge gathering thing, but now a lot of people like the trophies. Yeah, a lot of people like the trophies. So this year at Motor Mania, that is going to be changing, and we'll be giving away trophies and awards for all you show cars, burnout contests, maybe some of the street drags, depending on how you analyze that, and Jude's with his dyno challenge, and of course for all the kids.
Yes.
For all the model car contests and the slot car drags and RC drags. So we've got O'Reilly's doing all our sponsorship for all our trophies and stuff and giveaways. There will be dash plaques through every car coming out, 1,000 dash plaques.
Actually, you said that you're going to be giving out. They're going to be giving out gift bags, right, for the people that register their vehicle.
So at all our events, we're going to be having O'Reilly's, and that is not only with our main Motor Mania show. This is all our Tuesday night shows too.
They're getting a gift bag on.
Yep.
Really?
So we've got our show and shine on Tuesday nights that we do, and there'll be trophies awarded every Tuesday night, or every Tuesday event we have.
Yeah.
I shouldn't say every Tuesday night because it's scheduled.
No.
And we'll be announcing that this next week, right?
Yeah, we are going to be finalizing that.
Okay.
In the next day or so. Yeah.
So we'll have to do that. But yeah, well, it's pretty big. So that was a major thing this morning. So I was really happy that. So again, thank you to everybody that is started with me on this crazy journey when I came up with this idea on a napkin in 2019 to do this, and everybody who's been on board to do that. And yeah, there's a lot of great individuals that have stuck with us from day one. So and for the ones that kind of came aboard and fell away and came back or whatever like that, we still want to say thanks to all those that were there in the beginning and what we're doing, and this is what we're shooting for. It's a show for the public and what we do, and we do this pretty much all year long.
Yeah.
To fight for what we do. So
yeah.
And to kind of make the hobby great again, what we want to do, and so support everybody like Adam and all that stuff. So yeah. So thanks again, O'Reilly's.
Yes.
So, all right, what's your next subject?
Barn finds. We want to talk about barn finds, and that's one of your favorite subjects. You love barn finds. You love to talk about barn finds. You like to find barn finds. And
you like digging. So when I'm digging through cars and parts, you like to dig through the antiques and the.
No, I like to dig through it all.
Yeah, I like to dig through it all. So this kind of started. I mean, I've been doing this since I've been a kid with my brother Randy and my dad, and we would dig through pretty much anything. And now
people used to call your dad, right? And say, "Hey, come on over. I got some stuff for you to look at."
Yeah, everybody would think it would be garbage, and it would be my dad and Randy. Randy would always dig through anything. It was a big thing. Mom, of course, Ma Bagley, Marilyn there would always go through, and she would always clean out the house, but we'd always find stuff, and the dad would always resell it and whatever like that. And we're kind of like remember Sanford and Son?
Yes.
So we used to, our farm was like on 40 acres, and we did barns everywhere. So that's how I grew up. That's all I knew. So, and for those of me that have ever watched us or followed us on social media, that we do it every weekend. Somewhere, somehow we always do it. Even if we're going through Milwaukee, we'll go through an estate sale.
Sure.
No matter what it is. And even when we're going cross country, you love going to antique stores and malls and finding stuff. And it's great stuff. But the barn find, the cars is what we like to keep them back on the road and do that. And that I think is the passion of what I always like doing. I don't like building them per se to, take them to a car show. I like to get them on the road and then pass them on to the next person that's going to build them for their kid. Yes. Or restore them, or the guy that's been looking for that Holy Grail car forever. Yeah. And dig them out of their archive or their graveyard that they've been in there for 30 years. And then Ryan and Kyle, and they do stuff. Austin will come and film, but Ryan's really the one that really gets into it and cleans the details of cars. Cleans out the dead coon carcasses and all that stuff. So,
which there is a lot of.
Yeah, and it's fun. And then, recently, in the last year, Chad's helped us out. Zach Hader used to help us out, too, with getting a lot of barn finds doing. So, I mean, everybody loves it. I don't think there's nothing everybody likes doing, because there is the one thing, if you have a brand new shop, and we talked about this before, you have a brand new shop, anybody can, I want to say anybody, so everything's like, yeah, nobody ever said that way, but you get a car in, and everybody, you get a young crew, and then they take the car apart, and it's in a million pieces, and they blast it and paint it, and everybody orders, $100,000 of the parts, and they just rebuild a new car, which is great. I love those shops. Those are the cool shops. You see, but there's just something about taking something that's been stuck in a barn and trying to get that running and driving back on the road again and taking it back to a show. It's just, I don't know. It's the history of your one-on-one with it.
I love hearing the stories behind it, like Clara's car. I just saw that was a year ago already. Yeah.
Tell people that story.
That was a '66 Chevelle, right?
Yes. Yeah.
What area of the neck of the woods it was? It was north. I don't even remember.
Hilbert, Wisconsin.
That sounds about right.
Hilbert,
Yeah.
Wisconsin. We went to.
That was in the barn. It was Clara was the gal's name, older lady.
Yep.
Passed away, and it was kept in the barn for what, like 30 years?
It was in there, I believe, 32 years.
Yeah.
Yep.
Still had the original paperwork. It had her pair of glasses in there.
It had her Kmart name tag in the
Did it?
box, remember?
I bet I
She
missed,
worked
yeah.
at Kmart. Yep.
But yeah, that was a beautiful car, and it ended up going to a younger gal that just absolutely fell in love with it in the story, and she still calls it Clara.
Yeah, she calls
Clara's
it Clara's car. So and those are the cool things that we like doing, and I think when that one really set me back, and we get emotionally tied to these people a lot, and they follow, and they keep us updated on what they're doing. So when you find a barn find, like Clara's car, the story with the grandson who sold it to us,
Yep.
he inherited, and it was like we pulled up in the snow, as it was snowing outside, and we got all the farmers were there, and we kind of did a little video on the car and got it all the way out, brought everything out there, and he wanted to see what would happen to it, so we actually went there, and the granddaughter who bought the car, or the girl who bought the car, she wanted to buy it, and you remember that story. So the grandfather actually worked at the Janesville GM plant, and he goes, I really want that, he goes, I remember seeing that one of those cars go across the showroom floor, so he wanted to have it.
Yeah.
So then they actually got the car. They wasn't ready for Motor Mania this last year, but they'll be at Motor Mania
Really?
this year. Yeah. So
Oh, good. I can't wait to see it.
That's going to be in display this year. So that'll be one of our barn finds that'll be in display.
Now, are you the one that always says there's more barns in Wisconsin than anywhere else? Which
That
only
is-
makes sense, but
Yeah. So what I always tell everybody, and we go and we get, whenever we do certain interviews or in magazines and stuff like that, everybody wants to know, how do we find them all?
Mm-hmm.
So I think I asked my father this when I was a kid, and I said, how do you just go up to somebody's house, And I just did it when I was a kid. So, but if you look at, we go to some barns might have one car or truck or collector or bike or whatever, the Holy Grail thing everybody refers to, if we know American Pickers, yes, we met Frank and all those guys before. But I've been doing it way before that. You haven't, I know you haven't, but so when they go through and you look outside and you got, you see a barn everywhere, you go, it doesn't matter which direction you go in Wisconsin, but there's barns everywhere in Wisconsin, right? Mm-hmm. So you go through, and I said, so if you go on a 2 or 3 hour ride north or south or wherever you're going to go to, and you say you go from your house and you found 100 barns.
Yeah.
So you count 100 of them. That's pretty easy to do.
Mm-hmm.
And some farms have 2 or 3 barns, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we've already been to farms that have 100 cars.
Mm-hmm.
So if you just give, in any direction you go, each barn 1 car.
Mm-hmm.
So you went south, you found 100 that way, you found 100 that way. And we know they're still out there because we get calls every week.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going tomorrow to a yard that's been abandoned for 35 years with 200 cars.
Yeah.
So we're going to film that one tomorrow. So you do the math on that in the state of Wisconsin alone. Wisconsin's a pretty big state.
Yeah.
And you go there, so if you give 1 barn 1 car, and there's not just farms, we found them in the city, we found them in storage units all over the place. I say there's more cars hidden in the state of Wisconsin than anywhere in the country. Mm-hmm. And we prove it every year. Because look what's all hidden out there.
It's actually amazing how many cars are sitting untouched for years at a time.
Yeah, and we do, even when we went down to McCacken, we talked with the auto archaeologists.
They had the whole barn find section.
Yep, and it's huge. It's cool. Mm-hmm. We did interviews in there. Mm-hmm. And it's, I love it. I love seeing what's in there, what's untouched and what's not there. And I love finding the paperwork. The paperwork's cool. And my buddy Kevin, he loves digging the barns. Kevin, who we got red.
He's going with you tomorrow, right?
Yep, Kevin's going with us tomorrow. And like I said, I really got to give. My dad was kind of getting out of it by the time I came around. So that was, I was the last kid born. So I was born in '74. So by the time I started really digging out and having fun, Randy, and everybody jokes about this, my older brother Randy, because we looked alike. So everybody thought I was Randy's kid.
Oh.
For years, because we're close. So I would go just digging barns with him all day long, and it would be fun. We'd go dig wherever, whether it be trucks and everybody knows my crazy toy collection. That's how that started. Okay. So Randy would buy a car, my dad would buy a car, and somebody's like, here, look at a cute little boy or like that, and they would give me toys. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how, I have no idea how, because I don't know how, but I kept those toys for all those years. That's in my showroom now. Yeah. So, and it still goes to this day. And now Ryan, I passed it on to Ryan, and we do these things. We have all those things, but it's really great to do. And now we take Red. Red goes with us, your daughter. So, but yeah, I think there's to be said, there's more stuff hidden over there than anywhere else, because you go around and people just, I mean, there's stuff being found every day. And I think the real reason why Wisconsin, the other half of that story I was going to tell you, is that we only have, 7 months of summer, basically?
I think you're being generous at 7 months of summer.
Let's say 6. Let's say 6. So we have 6 months of summer. So here's my AKA John Bagley theory of why there's somebody there.
Okay.
So we have 6 months to do it, right? To enjoy summer. By the time the end of summer, people who don't have big houses or farms or like that, they have to find a place to store that car.
Yes.
So they put the car away in October, early November, whatever it's going to be, and it goes all through the spring. A lot of things can happen because a lot of these guys might have been construction guys. They might have been so they're seasonal guys, and they might not have enough money to pay for the storage for that car.
Sure.
So look at how many we have found who've got lost in storage over the years. We just bought a '69 Camaro that was lost in a body shop for 25 years because he never paid the rest of his bill and just abandoned the car.
That's crazy.
So it's sitting there. So you go through and you do that. So these cars get lost for years. Or what these guys do, the best one we always do is because the guy says, I'm going to buy this car and restore it. I'm like, family, I'm gonna do, or it's going to be my thing. Or they buy the car and don't tell their wife. We know that. And guys hide cars all the time, which is funny to me. But I shouldn't just say guys. Women do it too. So what I always find out and then the guys take it apart in a million pieces. And life changes. They have a kid. Anything can happen. 6 months is a long time. You have a baby, you do whatever you can do. So they never finish the car. And then they start adding up the math. They're paying for that storage bill for all the years, and it just gets sold. And they do it. And we find those cars all the time, too.
Yeah.
So and we don't just find these cars on Facebook. People think it's a lot of, I do find a lot of cars on Facebook Marketplace, because you always ask them what else is for sale.
Yeah.
That was my dad's theory back in the day. So you ask them what's for sale, and we're always out there posting what's out there. So no matter what it is, and this is kind of a funny thing, so I'll kind of refer back to the dating thing a little bit. So it's kind of like, hanging out with the ugly girl to get to the hot chick.
You do that.
I do that. So,
Professionally speaking, I'm like you.
yeah, I'm still waiting for the hot chick. I'm just kidding. So Justin's like, oh,
Justin's like,
anyways, I'll get bashed for that one after there's somebody here as well. So anyways, so if you have somebody that says, okay, I've got all these, whatever, Ford Escorts for sale, right?
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I never turn down a phone call. I always check out a lead. My father taught me that, and so did Randy. Well, let's go for a ride anyways. We got nothing going on. So we'd go there, and you might have to scrap out the Ford Escorts, but there might be the 69 Mach 1 Mustang sitting in the corner that you might not get. And some of the cars that I've dug out, and people follow us on social media and that we do, I've known about some of these places for 30 years plus. And you've been there because you talked to so many people when we dig them out. So it's all in the hunt and determination of what you want to do. And like someday I'm going to buy that car off that guy, and we do.
Speaking of Escorts, my first car was a '86 Escort.
86?
Uh-huh.
Really?
That thing
what color was it?
It was manual. It was white with black, really thin stripes on the side. And it had the hatchback, so I put this big subwoofer back there, and that thing was jumping.
Yeah?
Blasted some Prince 7 out of there. Yeah.
Prince 7? It was.
But we used to cruise in Hartford, so back and forth. Yeah, you need music for that.
Okay. Yeah, so you need music for that. Mm-hmm. So a little Ford. What color was it?
White.
White.
But then it had these. It was cool at the time, but it had these white wheel cap covers on it. They're plastic.
Yeah.
It was a pretty cool car.
It's a pretty cool car.
And I paid for it myself.
Well, there you go. That's a big accomplishment.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, Ford Escorts are kind of cool. They're actually, all the 80s cars are coming back.
Oh, this one would be this is a perfect 80s car. If I ever found it, I probably would buy it, to be honest.
What is the one we just took in on trip? What is the one, Dodge?
The Dodge Daytona?
Dodge Daytona, yeah.
I drove that the other day. It reminded me very much of it. I know.
Somebody had a holy grail of Dodge Daytona, 54,000 miles, 5-speed car. It was actually really cool. Somebody did repaint it at one point in time, but hey, it's still really cool.
I looked back in the hatchback. I'm like, oh, there's a room for a big speaker back there.
You did looking for your subwoofer back there?
Yeah.
Which we were thinking about keeping it and doing it, but we have so many cars. And after the hunt, I think that's the biggest part of it too. And then I disciplined myself over the years. I think 20 years ago, I used to want to keep everything. Mm-hmm. And I had a shop. Everybody knows that I used to have a shop in West Bend. And I think I had over 30 cars in there. I'm like, what am I doing? What am I doing with all these cars? I'm never going to get to them. So now I just want to, even the guys that work for us, Ryan and everybody says, how come you don't take the car to a show? I'm like, I do not need to drive the cars anymore. I feel lucky enough and blessed enough that people call me to go through, like Bill that we're going up tomorrow with, to be the first ones in the property.
And we'll post pictures from that drive up there for this tomorrow, post. Yeah.
We have 2 of them that are coming up. 2 big ones. The one is in, I can't tell you the name of the town, obviously, but we're going north tomorrow, and it's a yard that was his uncle's, and it was 35 years. 35 to 40 years, the public has not been on the property. It was just
it's going to be a fun day.
Yeah. So we'll go dig in the snow tomorrow, and that is the other thing, too, that we always tell everybody. Like, we have good friends down in Texas now. Colette's down there with Murph and those guys. We love watching the shows on Motor Trend that they go and get these things running, you know. Full custom garage, and I think Daryl from Vice Grip Garage, they do all these things, too. It's a little different up here, boys, because we don't have rust-free cars, for one thing, and we don't have nice weather where we're in our shorts all day long. So we go dig, like tomorrow we're going to dig, it's going to be 15 degrees tomorrow.
Now bring your mutter boots. You have some.
Yeah, we bring muttering boots. We have raccoons that like to hibernate. So while you're in Texas, wherever you guys are digging down there in California, where all the shows are really cool, we're digging in hay bales where animals are hibernating and stuff like that, and they get really ticked off. So you can see that on the camera too. It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
now barn finds, that's a pretty universal term for all cars that have kind of been abandoned, right? Because like you can have barn finds in California, but it's not really in a barn, right? I mean,
right. I say barn finds because it's Wisconsin, but there is, yeah, you can. I guess there's any name for it. I just say barn finds because that's what I do up here.
Right.
You know, yeah.
No, I think I've heard it say, prefaced that way before. So yeah, I think it's a pretty universal term.
Yeah, we do it, and I mean we bought them all over the place besides barns too. Storage units and garages. I think
still call it a barn find.
Still call it a barn find. I say barn. Yeah, I think I just throw that.
You do. You say all the time, barn find.
I do.
Barn find.
What did you give me this morning?
Well, are you okay there, Dad?
I'm dying. Dad's dying. Just laughing at me. I got something in my throat. I have no idea.
Guilt?
But anyways, we had the funny. I think one of the best ones we took was I think I took Red and Olivia Ella to Ohio that day to go pick up the 64 409 car, the old man. The blue one that we got. Remember I took the kids and
yeah. There's been so many I lose track, but yeah.
And sometimes a lot of the stuff is not planned. So stuff you see on Facebook. It's if anybody knows me at all, nothing I do is planned, right? Pretty much.
Right. Well, like even Tom Schott's cars, like we called about the one on his front lawn. Yeah. And then lo and behold, he's got 8 other cars in a barn.
Yeah, we got
that wasn't a barn.
Yeah, we got the call for that, and that was Saturday night. I think we got a call. You and I got a call Saturday night.
No, it was Sunday morning, or it was in the morning.
I think you messaged the car. You messaged the ad on Saturday night. I think it was, and we did the same thing. And sometimes, like I said, sometimes you can find really good ads on Facebook. So don't think they're not out there. It's on social media, so everybody's going to get to it first. No, because I think even Clara's car, we were watching TV, the 66 Chevelle, we were watching TV, and they had posted up for $1,500. And I thought it was a fake ad.
Oh, yeah, that one.
So
$1,500.
And I am pretty determined because people want to know how the heck do I get there ahead of everybody else. We bought the 67 Camaro convertible out in Baraboo area that we actually sent down, and one of our friends, an NFL player, bought that one. But that car was on social media. We were determined enough to get the car. And the biggest thing my father taught me too is we always had a truck and trailer ready, and everybody knows money talks and BS walks, right? So if they already know that you're coming, they know I'm coming, and I've got a rep for bringing the cash and the truck and trailer, they know they got the real deal coming. So, and which is great. I'm very honored to have that rep for doing that stuff. But when we did Shots cars, we called it a Mustang, didn't you? I think the Mustang was the first.
I thought it was the truck on the front lawn.
Yeah, I can't remember what it was. Yeah, but we ended up going to a find, and you actually knew them.
Yeah, that was. Oh, why didn't I even tell that story?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm waiting for you.
So
Yeah, go ahead.
He takes a call from this guy named Tom, and they're talking.
Yeah.
And they make arrangements to go take a look. I decide to go pull up, and I'm like, I know these people. So Which is
funny because she's like, oh, I finally know somebody.
Yeah, I finally know somebody. You always know everybody. These people were my mom's best friends as I was growing up. So I spent a lot of time with them when I was a kid, and I haven't seen them in 35 years probably.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
It was very cool.
That was a very nice surprise. I loved it.
And Tom Schott's a great guy. He was still in Lobenheimer's garage in Richfield, and here.
He's a mechanic, yeah.
We ended up buying 5 cars that day, and I had no idea we were going to. And
we still have some.
Yeah, we still have some. We just got a bunch of them done, so we're going to be launching them out now pretty soon. 2 Corvairs, a 65 Corvair hardtop, a Corvair convertible, a 62 Olds 88 convertible Dynamatic, and I think a 50 Ford hardtop and a 50 Ford convertible. Yeah.
I'm excited to see those go.
For some reason, we did that, and we put that deal together in about 2 hours. It was pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's... Yeah, you got to drive the Corvair. The first one we got done.
Yep. I just want to say that about the Daytona, too. All I need to do, a lot of them, is just drive them once. I just want to drive once. And I'm good.
I fill my cup up, and I do that stuff, and I just like seeing them getting pulled in the barns.
Yeah.
That's my biggest
I like to see them go to the next one.
Yeah, and then Ryan power wash and cleans it up, and then the look on everybody's faces when they can find it, so it's a big thing, so...
Doing good things.
Doing good things. Holy cow, you did it again. We're out of time.
I know, it goes fast. So thank you, everybody, for joining us.
All right, thanks, everybody.
Thank you, O'Reilly's.
Yes, thanks for O'Reilly's. You'll be seeing a lot in their videos and using a lot of their fluids and all their stuff to change it and get our barn finds going.
Yep, so we're excited.
All right, well, let's get going. We got to get going and get ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. All right, see you guys.
Thanks, everybody. Thanks for listening.